This is, difficult. This is a difficult job. Some days, you want to cry. Your heart breaks for these students. I think, and we work really hard. I think, especially, even after work, so the job doesn't end at 3:15. You're grading papers, or you're going to meetings, or you're planning, or gathering materials, and then you go home, and then you have to be either a parent, a spouse, or be or your other roles outside of school. So I honestly think, the encouragement, saying, you're doing a great job, or I really liked this, being specific and not so general, but just saying, I really loved when you said this, or, I really loved this in your lesson, or your kids seem to really grasp this. I think it goes a long way, honestly.
Teachers are held to specific standards, and I do believe that all of us are like conscientious of, okay, well, I have to be effective, so I think this is being the most effective, but we don't really know. And I think that what's going to start to happen is teachers or experts are going to start dropping into our classes, or I hope giving us PDs on what are the best ways in this new environment to communicate information. What works, what doesn't work. Because I don't know what's working. Like me holding up a piece of paper, I know doesn't work, right? But what does? I see some teachers, they have, ordered a big whiteboard from Amazon, and they're doing the whole thing, and they'll do like a 10-minute video, and then they'll have the kids do a worksheet, and they talk about the worksheet. Does that work? I don't know. How many kids are engaged? How do we? So we're two big issues I think are going to be for fall. One is, how do we deliver the curriculum in the most effective way? And then the other part is, how do we get kids to engage and remain engaged like we would in the classroom?
In those weekly meetings, we're able to discuss students' needs, students we couldn't reach, and then she would offer to reach out to them. So if there was an issue for a student that I couldn't reach out to, or their homeroom teacher could not reach out to, she would take that student and either drive to their house or make a phone call. And our assistant principal does the same thing. They really will show up for the kids in circumstances that most people would put themselves first, where they're putting students first.